Hey everyone, today I'm going to be going through the top 5 speedrun tricks that are used throughout the Halo Reach campaign. This list was put together with the help of a few other speedrunners, and I'll talk more about them in just a moment. All of these upcoming tricks are super interesting to watch, so if you enjoy it, be sure to subscribe and give it a like. And without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into it. The first trick on our list is one of my personal favourites, as it's the easiest to do, and that is the Nightfall forklift clip. This trick involves you getting in a forklift, driving up to a door, and then you get out of the forklift and it will actually clip you through the door, and this skips a ton of combat. You won't have to fight any of the enemies in this area. It saves a bunch of time, and it's just so easy, and it's just funny to me how this trick can be done. Just anyone can do this trick. It's just so easy. Take it up to this door, you line it up in the middle, and you get out, and you'll actually be pushed through the door, as you can see here. And then you can actually just run on through to the end of the level. None of the enemies in this last area will load. Here I'm just going to show you me getting to the final bit of the level. And that's it, level done. That level can be completed in under 4 minutes, or nearly under 3 minutes with that trick. So that is pretty awesome, and that's why it's at number 5 on the list. Moving on to the number 4, we've got the new Alexandria hospital skip. Now this one is kind of tricky to get used to. It involves you have to hijack a Falcon when you get the hospital objective. You'll know when you get that when Cat starts saying about the trooper squads that go missing. Here you can see me hijack the Falcon. I actually paused the game because I thought I missed the Banshee. Then you want to take the Banshee to the hospital, Banshee bomb yourself at the doorway, shoot off the wings of the Banshee so that you can fit through the door. You want to call in a Falcon before you go inside the hospital, open the door, jump in the Banshee, and we're actually going to take this Banshee all the way through the hospital with us, saving a ton of time. It means we don't have to fight any of the enemies. This trick can be done on easy or legendary. Very easy to do. You just fly it around these spiral staircases, and then we're going to fly it to the jammer that we need to turn off. And here we're going to do a pretty cool teleport. So once we turn off the jammer, we're going to get back in the Banshee. I don't know if you have to get back in the Banshee or not, but I like to do it anyway. Then when Cat starts talking, we jump out of the Banshee, and the game is actually going to teleport us outside of the hospital, so we don't even have to walk back through the rest of the enemies. And we're going to be outside the hospital, and there should be a Falcon waiting for us here, but mine didn't come. But yeah, that's the hospital skip. Now we're going to move on to number 3, which is the Oni Sword Base overload. Now this is one of the tricks I didn't have the footage of myself, as it is slightly more complex, so I had to call in the help of a fellow speedrunner who goes by the name of Jangoose. His links will be in the description. He's a great guy, go check him out. So essentially with this trick, by leaving everything alive in this final area and loading as many enemies as possible, it will take up lots of space in the console's memory, which leads it to fail loading the Banshees and Phantom in the final area, which means you don't have to fight them, thus saving a lot of time. So right now you can see that Jangoose is doing some platforming to get up to the top floor as quick as possible while loading in as many enemies as possible. Just do a quick grenade jump up these balconies, pretty quick to get to the top. You actually can take a ghost all the way through this area to get up to the top even quicker, but he just did it while running. He gets up to the top, and you can see here that he only has to take out one Banshee to get the ending to trigger, which saved him a lot of time in his run, and it turned out to be a pretty quick IL. Now moving on to number 2 on our list, and that is the Winter Contingency early Falcon grab. Again, I don't like this trick, so I had to get the help of Jangoose yet again so I could borrow some of his footage. Essentially this trick involves us stealing a Falcon really early on in the level so that we can use it to skip past so much. It saves so much time. So at the start of the level you can see here Jangoose is parkouring up this mountain. He gets onto a little invisible barrier which floats him around the mountain. And then he's going to climb up some more rocks, jump around these rocks, jump all the way over to this other rock. He actually falls down here. That's not a big deal because he can just go round and climb up the other side, but you actually can go all the way along the top of the rocks, which is a little bit quicker. Then he goes up these rocks, gets on the very top of the mountain, and he'll actually jump down onto this building where the skirmisher runs across while you're inside the building. So if you look out for it, you can see the skirmisher running across the rooftop with you, but we're not going to do that. We haven't got time for that. We're going to jump over the building, jump down, and we're actually going to steal this grunt. We're going to steal his plasma pistol because we're going to use that to get the Falcon down. He's going to run back into the building to load the Falcon in, stand in this corner for a second, that triggers the load, runs out of the building, aims up, and he'll shoot the Falcon as it comes over the building. This trick is a bit easier to do on MCC, I've heard, so the theory goes. So he shoots the Falcon down, and then he needs to flip it over so that the Marine inside the Falcon falls out, and then he can then get in it, and then he'll have to line up the Falcon in a pretty specific spot. It's a bit random where the dropship flies, but he'll line it up in a specific spot, and then the dropship will actually fly into the back of him, and this will actually carry him outside of the world barrier. So this is slightly different to what I did in my legendary speedrun guide, as it is quite a bit harder. And yeah, he gets pushed out into the sky barrier, and then he's free to move on to where you have to defend the part where Cat is trying to close the door. Now, just quickly, I wanted to go over a few honourable mentions. The first one being this little skip on the Pillar of Autumn. So we concussion jump up this rock, and then we actually jump over a load zone, which will actually cause none of the buggers or the drones to load in this next area, so that we don't have to fight any of them. This trick is super useful for legendary. It will save so much time, as you don't have to fight any of these annoying bugs. And yeah, it's just a super easy trick, which is why I didn't include it in the actual top 5. It's just too easy to do to put in the list. But yeah, it's super helpful. And next, I want to quickly go over the Exodus jetpacking, or the platforming on Exodus. So this is super useful on legendary, as it means we don't have to fight any enemies in this area. It's super useful. We're just going to jetpack underneath every single one of them, and then when we get close enough, we're going to jetpack up to the very top at the end where all the enemies are, and yeah, that will skip all of them. We'll run straight past them. Again, I didn't include this one because it's not really a trick, and it's not as impressive as the other ones. It's just a bit of sneaky platforming to get past the enemies faster, so I didn't include it in the actual top 5. And then a little bit further on in the level, we're gonna, so the mission wants you to run all the way around up the stairs and along a big bridge, but we're just gonna jetpack up the side of the building, jetpack onto a little flag, and then jetpack up to the very top of the building, which will save us a lot of time, and it will also skip out a lot of enemies that we have to fight. So yeah, just wanted to quickly chuck these tricks in here. They're not really proper tricks, they're just little platforming tricks to get through the level faster, but they are quite helpful. And yeah, without that out of the way, let's get on to the final trick in the top 5 speedrun tricks. And that trick is the Pillar of Autumn early Mac Cannon. This trick is super helpful. It saves a lot of time, especially on legendary. This can only be done on legendary. I mean, you can do it on easy, but it's faster just to do it normally on easy. So we only do this trick on legendary. It means that we don't have to take out any of the enemies in this area. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to grab the concussion rifle from the start of the level, take it all the way to the end, and we're actually going to do a concussion jump, a pretty big concussion jump, all the way up to the top where the Mac Cannon is. It is kind of tricky to do. It's what a lot of people struggled with on my legendary speedrun guide. But yeah, we get in the Mac Cannon, and then we'll take out the first Phantom, and then we'll aim down with our needle rifle and take out the enemies that we couldn't get with the other Phantom. And then we're going to quickly just keep jumping back in and out of the Mac Cannon, taking out the Phantoms and all the enemies that they drop. And this will take out this defense area super quick. I chopped up this clip of me doing the full trick quite a lot, so there's a lot of me jumping in and out of the Mac Cannon and me taking out enemies that you don't see. Otherwise this clip would go on for quite long. This is quite a long trick to pull off. But yeah, so we're just going to use the Mac Cannon to take out the Phantoms early on, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And then we're actually going to do the same concussion jump after Keys has come down from the Pillar of Autumn. We're going to do the same concussion jump to get up to the Mac Cannon again, which means we don't have to fight any of the field marshals or zealots, which is super cool. And that's pretty much it for the final trick. We decided to put this at the #1 spot, as we thought it was quite cool to use the Mac Cannon as something else other than just taking out the Covenant Cruiser. So yeah, that's why it deserves the #1 spot. Just want to give another quick shout out to Wolfy and Pedrogas, as they gave me their opinions on what they thought the top 5 speedrun tricks for Halo Reach should be. So yeah, check them out, their links will be in the description as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching.